Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello students, welcome to second PUC accountancy revision classes. Students, in the previous class we have concluded that is second chapter, partnership basic concepts, right? In today's class let us move on to the next chapter, that is admission of a partner. Admission of a partner, you know it very well in my regular class, regular video, isn't it? I have already explained the meaning of partnership, that is the meaning of a partner when he is admitted into a that is partnership firm. Although that we have studied what is admission of a partner, isn't it? For that we have studied the meaning of admission of a partner, what happens when a partner admits into an existing firm, all these things we have studied. So let us straight away move on to the ratio part, that is when a partner admits into a firm, then the ratio of the existing partner will decrease. Very simple. There are two partners, they are sharing profit and loss in the ratio of 1:1, that is 50% each, isn't it? 1:1. Then naturally when a third person enters into the partnership firm, a new partner is admitted, then the share of existing partners will decrease. Earlier it was 50%. After the admission of the third partner, the profit sharing ratios will decrease. If it is again equal, then it will be 1:1:1, that is 1/3, 1/3 and 1/3. So earlier it was 1/2 and 1/2, that is a 50%. Now it is reduced to 1/3, 1/3 and 1/3, 1/3 and 1/3. So it will be 33.33%. So it has decreased. The share of both the old partners decreased because of the entry of the new partner. Correct. So we can put it symbolically, that is a new ratio of old partner. New ratio is equal to old ratio minus sacrifice ratio. What is sacrifice ratio? I made it very clear. It is the ratio in which the old partners sacrifice or lose a part of their share to give a share to the newly admitted partner, to give him a share in the future profits of the firm. So sacrifice ratio is the ratio which is sacrificed or that is given by the old partners from their share to give a share of profit to the new partner on admission. It is called sacrifice ratio. So new ratio is equal to old ratio minus sacrifice ratio, or sacrifice ratio is equal to new ratio plus what is it? No, sacrifice ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio. Earlier they were getting suppose 20,000 rupees or 30,000 rupees, isn't it? Suppose the profits were 60,000. A and B, if you distribute, each one will get 30,000. Same profit if it is distributed after the entry of the third partner, isn't it? Then each one will get how much? 60,000 means 20,000 each. Equal share means 20,000 each, right? Yes, 20,000 each they will get. So earlier they were getting 30,000, now they will get 20,000. So there is a difference of rupees 10,000. It is nothing but sacrifice ratio. So the old partners have sacrificed 10,000 each from their share to give a share to new partner in future profits of the firm. That is 20,000 each is distributed among them. So the new partner Mr. C has got rupees 20,000, which is nothing but the sacrifice made by Mr. A and B. Earlier they were getting 30,000 each, now they are getting 20,000 each. So the reduced amount in their profit share is nothing but sacrifice ratio. So to put it symbolically, earlier it was 1 by 2 and 1 by 2, A and B. After the entry of C, now they will share in equal proportions again, 1/3, 1/3 and 1/3. So the sacrifice ratio of Mr. A is equal to his old ratio minus his new ratio, right? Is equal to, old ratio was 1 by 2, new ratio is 1 by 3. So take the common denominator 6, 3 2s are 6, multiply this by 2 3s are 6, 3 2s are 6, multiply the numerator also by the same number, isn't it? 3 1s are 3 and minus 2 1s are 2, so it will be 1 by 6. So this is about this is sacrifice ratio of Mr. A, and the other one, if we calculate, we will get the same, that is the sacrifice ratio for B, because their ratios are equal. So that is called sacrifice ratio, and how to calculate it. This is the way to calculate sacrifice ratio. Now moving on to the new profit sharing ratio. New ratio is equal to old ratio minus sacrifice ratio. Old ratio is bigger always in case of admission of a partner. So old ratio minus sacrifice ratio, the ratio which is sacrificed by him is nothing but that is old ratio minus sacrifice ratio is equal to new ratio. So that is how we have to calculate new profit sharing ratio. Let us calculate in the instance case, isn't it? Mr. A's new ratio which is given in the problem actually, isn't it? If it is mentioned that they have sacrificed equally, then we can calculate easily. That is old ratio 1 by 2 minus sacrifice ratio 1 by how much? 1 by 6, isn't it? Deduct it, you will get his sacrifice new ratio. You will get the new ratio of the partner. There are different problems. We have already solved a number of problems from question bank. So go through that and solve it at home. Take each of the problems, practice it, study it first, then check whether you know it or not. Solve it and compare it with the answer. Any doubt you can call me. I already told you, at any point of time you can call me and you can get it clarified, get the doubts clarified. What are the accounting, what is the accounting procedure in case of admission of a partner? When a new partner is admitted into a firm, what are the accounts that we have to prepare? That is, first one is we have to prepare a revaluation account. Revaluation account, right? When we prepare revaluation account, it's a ledger account, very simple. We have to prepare a revaluation account by seeing the adjustments in the problem. Everything will be given in the adjustment part. By seeing that, it is nothing but revaluation of assets and liabilities. Revaluation account is prepared to to revalue the assets, that is increase in the value of assets and decrease in the value of liabilities, or increase in the value of liabilities and decrease in the value of assets. That will be accounted for. So to revalue the assets and liabilities on either side, that is a plus side or minus side, increase or decrease in the values of assets and liabilities are recorded in this account. For that reason we prepare revaluation account, right? So revaluation account is an account which is prepared to revalue the values of assets and liabilities. So what we will do is, if there is any profit, any increase in the value of assets or decrease in the value of liabilities, so gain to the business, profit to the business, will be entered on the credit side. So increase in the value of assets and decrease in the value of liabilities will be entered on the credit side, and decrease in the value of assets and increase in the value of liabilities will be entered on the debit side of revaluation account, isn't it? That is what we'll do here. So decrease in the value of liabilities means profit to the business, because we are not supposed to pay whatever was supposed to be paid. Suppose we were supposed to pay 10,000 rupees. Now we need not have to pay that amount. Don't you think it is a profit to the business? Otherwise they have to pay, isn't it? So that is profit. Here increase in the value of assets. Increase in the value of assets is also a profit. That is, suppose the value of building or furniture, whatever the asset is, the value has increased means what? The value of land is increased. Don't you think it is a profit to you? Your land worth is 1 crore suppose. All of a sudden that is hike in the real estate market. So now you can sell your land at 1.5 crore, 50 lakh. Don't you think it is a profit? Yes, it is a profit. So any such increase in the value of assets or decrease in the value of liabilities should be entered on the credit side of revaluation account. And any increase in the value of liabilities and decrease in the value of assets should be entered on the asset side, because it is should be entered on the debit side, because it is loss to the business. Suppose the land value is 1 crore, all of a sudden there is decrease in the real estate market, isn't it? Then your land value has been decreased to 50 lakh. What will you do? 50 lakh decrease in the value of your assets. Don't you think it is a loss to you? Yes. That what you will do is you will enter it on the debit side of revaluation account. So that is what you will do it, isn't it? So this is what we will do, and then we will close this account. And all the difference between the total of asset side and that's debit side and credit side will be taken as profit or loss if the credit side total is greater than the total of debit side. If the total of debit side is more and credit side total is less, then it is a loss, because expenses are more than the income, losses are more than the profit, isn't it? Or if the credit side total is greater than the total of debit side, then it is profit. This side more means profit, this side more means loss, because these are losses and these are profits. Very simple. Clear? Then whatever profit or losses should be shared among the old partners only, because the new partner was not there in the business. New partner is admitting today, so he will not get any share in the profits or losses prior to his admission. Before his admission, whatever has happened in the business, the new partner has no right to get a share or bear the loss. And whatever happened after his admission, the new partner will have a share, or he has to bear the loss. That is what revaluation account is. You will prepare this, and again, if there are any outstanding expenses, isn't it, or income received in advance, like rent received in advance, rent being an income received in advance, income received in advance is a liability of the business, is an expense. Actually, we are not supposed to receive this, isn't it? Whether we are supposed to receive it? No, we are not. We are not supposed to receive it, but we are receiving it. We are receiving it in advance. That means we are liable to them. We have to let our building to them on rental basis for next 1 month or whatever that is advance rent is received is. So rent received in advance, that is income received in advance, is a liability, should be entered on the debit side of revaluation account. Then here prepaid expenses and income. So yes, your expenses outstanding is no doubt expense, and prepaid expenses no doubt is an income or asset. Income received in advance and outstanding income, that is outstanding income, here we call it as income receivable. Income receivable is an income or it is an asset, it should be shown in the balance sheet as an asset. So these are the things that should be borne in mind. What are, that is expenses, incomes received in advance, prepaid, isn't it? Those should be taken into consideration. So here bear in mind this much: decrease in asset, increase in liability should be on the debit side, increase in the asset, decrease in the liability, credit side, outstanding expenses, debit side, income received in advance, debit side, and prepaid expenses and outstanding income or income receivable, rent receivable, isn't it, should be entered on the credit side of revaluation account. Then after incorporating all these things, these things will be available in your adjustment part, not in the problem part. That is adjustment part, it will be available later part, isn't it, not in the balance sheet. So you have to incorporate those things and you will prepare revaluation account. Then prepare combined capital accounts of partners. Combined capital accounts means the capital accounts of all the partners will be clubbed together in one single account. Combined capital accounts of partners, isn't it? So by balance brought down, that is capital balances which will be there in the balance sheet, old balance sheet will be there, that should be entered first by balance brought down. Then all the other items of income like accumulated reserve, profit and loss account balance, any other fund appearing on the liability side of the balance sheet, should be entered on the credit side of the partners capital accounts. Credit side of partners capital account, it should be distributed among the partners, isn't it? Any reserve or any accumulated fund should be credited to partners capital accounts, and any losses, accumulated losses, mostly you will get only one item on the asset side, that is a profit and loss account you will get on the asset side, which is nothing but accumulated loss, which should be debited to all partners that is old partners capital accounts, not new partners. New partners admitting now, so he will not get a share also in the accumulated profits or reserves, and he is not supposed to bear the accumulated losses also. So whatever the item that should be entered on the credit side, that is any reserves or accumulated profits or funds, then any accumulated losses should be entered on the debit side of partner's capital accounts, because that is a loss that is to be borne by the partner, which should be recoverable from the partner, which should be debited to their capital account. When we make an entry on the debit side, their ultimate amount payable to them decreases. Let me give best example here. You have entered, there is a total of 50,000 on the credit side. If you make an entry of rupees 10,000 on the debit side, what happens ultimately? Ultimately, the amount payable to the partner will decrease. It will come to 40,000 instead of 50,000. Am I correct? So, if you make an entry on the debit side of partner's capital account, the balance will decrease. And if you make an entry on the credit side of partner's capital account, the balance of the partner's capital will increase. That is what will happen. So, that is regarding that is a revaluation account. Then what are the accumulated profits or losses? That is mainly appears on the credit side of there is assets of the balance sheet. You will find profit and loss account, which is accumulated loss. On the liability side, you will have profit and loss account, reserve fund, general reserve. All these funds will appear, reserves will appear, isn't it? That should be transferred to credit side of partner's capital account. So that is about that is accumulated profits or reserves. It should be payable or it should be debited or credited to partner's capital accounts. Then we will have to move on to the goodwill treatment. There are only 4 methods given in your syllabus. Premium method, where the new partner brings in cash towards goodwill, isn't it? And it will be retained in the business. Second method is new partner will bring goodwill in the form of cash, which will be distributed among the partners, and partners will withdraw either the full goodwill or half of the goodwill, isn't it? Half of the goodwill they will they will withdraw, isn't it? When they draw the amount from their capital account, then what happens? Their ultimate, that is balance in their capital account will decrease. Capital account will decrease, isn't it? Capital account will decrease. Yes, that is what will happen. So we will have to make sure that we will credit or debit the goodwill, isn't it? Yes. So that is about the treatment of goodwill. I will take up the goodwill treatment in the next class. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.